Welcome to the Poshcast. Your host, Emily Darby, and I've got my co-host, Sasha Snow. And in studio, we have the owner of Face Foundry, Terry Suter. And today's episode is called Let's Face It. And Sasha, do you want to take over on the lead on this?
Sure.
Okay.
We're going to be talking about self-care, and I think it's really interesting because everyone has a different take on what self-care actually means. So to the new mom, it might mean getting to have her coffee hot, getting a shower, actually being able to sit down to eat. But I think it goes a little bit deeper than that because for me, self-care is when you look good. When you look good, you feel good. Let's face it. You might not want to admit it, but when I don't look good, I'm grumpy. I'm not in the best mood.
Yeah.
So, how do you view self care and why do you think it's so important for moms, especially?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me on the Poshcast today. It's an honor, and yeah, this is a topic that I have a lot of passion around, which is it's the whole reason I decided to start Face Foundry here in Naples and Estero, because I believe so much in the value of self care. Especially as women, especially as moms. It's just something, we are just wired to put ourselves second.
True.
And when that happens for an extended period of time, you're not operating at your best for yourself, for your family, for your children. And so I just believe so much in the concept of self-care that's why I'm here. So thank you again for the opportunity.
I love that. That's true. We tend to almost feel guilty about doing something
Mm-hmm.
that's good for ourselves.
That's right.
And personally, I love makeup. I'm a really girly girl when it comes to that, but there's a lot of women who aren't. They just like more of a clean aesthetic, and that's fine. But it makes me think about the importance of facials. Because I notice that when I do them regularly, my makeup just goes on so much better, more smooth. It just looks,
For sure.
it looks different. What are some of the benefits of getting facials regularly that maybe women don't know about?
Yeah. Well, I mean, just to take a step back in terms of just the concept of self-care and then how do facials fit into that, right? And I think you started out with, self-care does mean something different to every woman. And some days you just need the little thing, like that extra special coffee that just makes you happy and brings a smile to your face. But when you can give yourself the time, the permission to do something regular, like giving yourself that monthly facial, it just takes it to a whole new level. And I think it means something in terms of how you're prioritizing yourself and what you bring to the table. The benefit of the a monthly facial, and part of that's why it's part of our concept and what our estheticians are really supporting, and our whole business model is designed to make it accessible for busy women, moms to be able to do it, both from a time and an affordability perspective. Getting that, foundational, that high quality treatment for your skin with an esthetician, you're going to touch your skin 60 times in the course of, at least in the course of a 30-day period, right? With your own morning and night routine. But having that high quality esthetician driven treatment that's really focused on your particular unique skincare goals and needs just helps just amplify what you're doing at home and create that situation where you're actually like working towards and having progress towards your goals. And again, that just is going to help you feel better. It's going to make your skin look better. And a high quality facial, like you talked about makeup, right? It will help all of your products go in. Like, so you're investing, right, in your serums or your moisturizers. And even if you're like clean girl, simple girl, you're still washing, moisturizing, SPF. All of those products work better when you've got a great foundation. And that foundation starts with.
What do you say to people or women that say, well, I just don't have that luxury? They almost think of a facial as kind of like a spa getaway versus like an actual necessity. I'm sure you get that quite often.
I get it all the time.
Okay.
Yeah. And some of it is about time. Some of it's about affordability. And some of it's just intimidation.
Okay.
There are definitely, we see women all the time where it's like, this is my first facial.
Oh,
and
I
they
hear it all
can
the time.
be,
Yeah.
in their 20s, 30s, 50s, 70s, having
I don't
their
even know if
first
my
facial.
own mother. I don't know if my mom's like gotten a facial.
I feel like
And
back then self care was more like shame almost.
I think she'd be like, why is someone going to touch my face? So, she'd be
Right,
like,
right.
it's like, what do you mean? I can wash it at home. So yeah, I don't know. Do you think that it's evolved into something? Did our mom's mom,
I think it
I don't
used to
know.
be like one of those really extra
Hush, hush.
special,
Okay.
you're on a vacation or you're doing
Exactly.
something like really special for yourself with your girlfriends or
Mhm.
your partner. Now it's just become part of, um, I don't want to call it a trend because it's not really a trend per se. But I think that, first of all, like the science has advanced, skincare products have
Mhm.
advanced, techniques and protocols have advanced. And I think with the prevalence of social media and so much more video based content, there's just so much more awareness
Mhm.
about the techniques, the products, and the benefits of high quality skincare. And so that's just kind of grown. It's skincare, skincare products. It's the largest growing segment of the beauty industry. And it's not just I mean, it is a lot of younger women. I mean, now, I mean, my goodness, I just spent a fabulous weekend with my 17-year-old niece and my sister-in-law. I mean, she is so knowledgeable, my 17-year-old niece, on skincare products, ingredients, different techniques. Like I was using like Noxzema,
Oh my
my
goodness.
grandma's moisturizer,
Mhm.
right? And those Stridex pads for
Mhm.
my pimples when I was a teenager. Kids, young women, they just know so much more, and I think that's also sort of been dry. It's sort of like the symbiotic relationship between awareness and demand,
Very interesting.
and so there's just so much more availability, and with that availability, and I think innovation, technology, that also allows us to bring it to create more of an accessible
Yeah.
experience for women.
I agree with that. I feel like social media itself makes us more where you were mentioning that of how we look too on
Mhm.
camera. So it
Oh yeah.
makes us want to take better care of ourselves, of course.
Absolutely.
And some people also think that facials is they kind of put it in the same category as a massage where it's just massaging your face with some lotion and stuff, and it's so much more than that,
So much
depending
more.
on what you're targeting. If it's acne, if it's spots, hormonal issues, which we go through pregnancy,
Hmm.
um, skin texture, aging, it's just so personalized. It's not a one thing fits everyone.
That's right.
And so let's say that I decided, you know what, I want to start doing something myself. I want to start doing monthly facials or just be consistent with my self care. And I'm looking for a place. That's like the second most important thing. You want to find a place where you feel comfortable, where they actually deliver and you like
Hmm.
the results, because that's what's going to make you go back.
Hmm.
So, how would you say that Face Foundry sets itself apart from other places in the area that offer similar services?
Yeah, we're really quite different. If you haven't walked into a Face Foundry, the first reaction is sort of like this wow factor of like, the aesthetic doesn't look and feel at all of what is in our sort of mental model of what a spa or, that it looks like. And what I mean by that is that we have an open concept. It's very modern. We don't put our clients through the muss and the fuss of let's give you a tour of the locker room and put on this robe and change out of your clothes. Like we want to get you in. Again, this is busy moms, right? We want to get you in and get you focused on your skincare as quickly as possible. We don't play woo woo music. We're playing more contemporary music. It's very light and airy. But really the biggest thing is our menu. A lot of times, you'll find an esthetician and you really like that esthetician and you keep going to her over and over and over and you're going to get the same facial over and over and over, whether it's the right facial for your skin goals and your unique skincare routine. So, you can get into a routine with the same esthetician and it's sort of, not to be pejorative, but sort of like the one trick pony, right? One of the things about our concept is that we've curated this beautiful menu that's very innovatively driven to create different facial experiences that are each tailored and curated to target a unique skincare concern and goal. That could just mean I just want to lay here and relax today. Or it could be, hey, I have acne scarring. I really want to work over the next 6 months to reduce that. what are the best treatments for me to do that? And let's get in a routine. It could be elegant aging, fine lines and wrinkles. It could be hyperpigmentation. We live in Southwest Florida. We're all exposed to the sun, so we're more prone to those types of sunspots and hyperpigmentation. And so each of our facial experiences is designed to really focus on what you uniquely are looking for. And that, I think, is something that's really unique to our concept.
Yes, and our skin, it changes so much. Like you mentioned, the weather. Maybe
Mhm.
during the winter months, you need a different type of facial, a different type of product because you're
That's
drier.
right.
Then the summer comes, and sometimes you get extra oily, you get a breakout. So it's
Mhm.
really important, to have someone that knows that and that's an expert in that field.
Yeah, and that's a great point. And the other thing I would just kind of add to that is you create a partnership with your esthetician, and having that person that's with you on your journey as the seasons are changing, as things in your life are changing. We want to be knowing about that and talking about not just what's happening while you're on the bed for your facial, but what are those lifestyle things that are going on with you, and whether it's, hey, your skin's looking really dry. That's kind of unusual. How's your hydration been? Or have you been in a dry climate? Where are you traveling?
Hmm.
You may need to change up your skincare routine for a particular, season too.
Exactly.
Like, hey, it's summertime. Let's pull back on that really rich night cream and do something a little bit lighter. You're going to be so much happier with how your skin looks and your makeup and what have you. But getting that guidance is really nice to have that sort of
Yes.
partnership with your
And so
esthetician.
many little things play a role in that as well. Sometimes people don't think of it, but your pillowcase, the cleanliness of it is so important.
Yes, change your pillowcase every 3 days.
Exactly.
Gross.
Exactly. I noticed that that is very important in terms of clogged pores, acne. Um, Another thing is
What
makeup,
towel? Well,
removing
like,
it.
what towel are you using after you wash your face? How clean is it? Are you using a fresh
Yes,
towel? Otherwise, you're putting that bacteria right back on your face.
that's that's
Little
true.
tips like that. I mean, and we just like, who knew, right?
No, but it's true.
Until
I
somebody kind of
I
teaches
had a
you.
dermatologist once tell me not to use towels, even if it was a clean towel. He said the best thing you can use to dry your face is paper towel, and you throw it out. And so I know it's not too eco-friendly, but it makes you think about the little things, that we really don't take the time to think about.
Right. Right.
And when it comes to beauty and offering beauty services, I feel like that could be really rewarding because you get to know your client on a deeper level, sometimes, especially when they're coming back consistently.
Mm-hmm.
What has been the biggest transformation that you've seen in a client that really touched you and made you think, this is why I'm doing this?
Oh my gosh. Where do I begin? There's so many stories. I think that the biggest, kind of like just generalized comment that we hear is taking somebody who really felt like they just didn't know how to take care of their skin, and then seeing them over the course of 2, 3, 4 months, and they come and they're like, oh my gosh, this has literally transformed my skin. And it's just, a lot of it is just education. But I will share one very special story. We have a client who was going through chemo, and she was having I mean, chemo is
Hmm.
so incredibly, it's
Takes a
going,
toll.
it takes its toll. It's going after some tough stuff, but it definitely, it depletes you in so many ways. And so she was, both feeling like just completely depleted and wanting the relaxation and the self-care that comes with a facial, but also like her skin was really, really reacting. And for her to kind of follow her through that journey, and thank God she's on the other side of it, and just knowing that we were a part of that and helping her feel her best in a really hard situation, and visibly changing her skin and helping her manage that during that period of her life was just those are the kinds of things. It's like, yep, this is why we do
Yes,
this.
no, I can see
Wow.
that definitely.
This is why we do this.
That is
Absolutely.
beautiful to be able to be there for someone like that in that moment.
We also have instances where we have like mothers and daughters coming in together, and you're creating, we're like part of their
Love
experience
that.
of creating these, special traditions and bonds, both younger moms and daughters and older moms
Those are
with
core memories
daughters.
in the making.
Exactly. And it's something
Love that.
special, and they make a day out of it, and they come and they get their facials together and have lunch or do something like that. And that's always really heartwarming as well.
Is there any new territories you're looking at or any kind of expansion that you'd like in your near future or anything for Face Foundry?
Just in terms of geography or in terms
Yeah,
of services or
All of the above.
all of the above. Well, so we actually, this month is our 3rd anniversary for our Naples location,
Wow,
which
congrats.
thank you. And it feels like it was like, how did that happen?
Yeah.
It went by so fast.
flew.
And then we opened our Coconut Point Estero location 18 months ago. And it's been really fun and gratifying for me to kind of see both the birth and the growth of these 2 locations. My dream is to put a 3rd location in North Naples. I just need to find a location. So if anybody knows of any,
Okay, great.
approximately 1,500 square feet in North
Great.
Naples, commercially available. But yeah, I mean, I do definitely think that there's enough space in our community
Yeah.
to put a 3rd location in, and try and make it even more convenient.
Yeah.
Again, like a core part of our value proposition is accessibility, and so part of that is making it accessible geographically as well. In terms of one of the sort of core values of Face Foundry is innovation, and so we're continually watching what's happening in the skincare space and what's up and coming and what's really driving results for skin. Right now, we're looking very much at some new protocols or adding some things to the menu that are very acne focused. And you wouldn't think that, we do live in a community that is demographically trends a little bit older. We still see a lot of women, especially hormone driven,
Especially menopause.
yeah.
menopause, hormone driven acne, but women of all ages. It's
Great.
acne is not something that's reserved for adolescents.
That is
And
true.
so we're I expect we'll be launching some new things into our menu, bringing in a new skincare line that's very acne
Great.
focused.
Exciting.
I feel like that's a little bit of a gap in what we're doing today. So I'm excited to bring that in later this summer.
And other than facials, do you offer any other services as well?
We do we do brows, which is actually a really popular. So we do brow lamination, brow henna, wax and tint, which many women are familiar with. And we have that's a pretty popular thing for us is women coming and getting their brows done. And then for lashes, we do lash lift and tint. So we don't do any sort of extensions or anything like that. But we do the lash lift and tint, which is also very popular.
And they can be add-ons with your facial as well.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Yep.
that's awesome.
Yep.
Oh, that's
Yep.
great.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So it just proves the point that self-care is not a luxury. It really affects our mind.
Yeah. And I one of the things that is so gratifying for me is, and actually I just experienced this yesterday. I was working for a few hours in the Naples salon, and a woman came in, and she's a member. So she's a monthly member. She's in with us every month. And she came in, and you could just tell like she had just a rough day. And she was talking about she had been on hold with the state of Illinois, and something got messed up and what have you. And she was just feeling so stressed. And then I saw her at the end of her appointment, and she was
Completely
like,
different.
Melted away.
melted away.
What's the
feeling
longest
great.
facial you can get? Can you get a 90-minute facial? 'Cause that sounds really good.
We
right
can
now.
add on all kinds
Okay.
of things and make it as long as you
As
need
long-
it to be.
okay, great.
Yeah,
Good
but
to
that's
know.
also just one of the basic things is
Yeah.
just like we see it's really hard to leave Face Foundry in a bad mood. Right.
Love
And
that.
so like I
Love that.
love when we can bring that energy into every one of our clients, and whatever happened before you walked in that door, when you're leaving, we want you to be feeling good, feeling great, looking great, and take that energy with you back through the doors into
Beautiful.
whatever you have next in your life.
All women deserve.
Beautiful. Love that.
Got to make more time for herself
We
and
really do.
throw away the guilt. There's no reason for it. I feel like
We talk about it all the time, but I even feel it. So I'm like, gosh, if I feel it, I can't imagine, and you and I are kind of we can be kind of extremist with certain things. Like we
Yeah.
love our makeup and our facials and taking care. And that's,
Mhm.
it's kind of just in our day-to-day lifestyle. So, knowing how it's our lifestyle for women, that it's really not their lifestyle, just saying, go get your facial. It's not that easy.
No,
It's
it's
not
really
even easy
hard.
for me. So yeah, no, it's it's definitely
But one of my
difficult, but-
favorite sayings is you cannot pour out of an empty cup.
Mm-mm.
And we don't pour into ourselves enough. And then we wonder sometimes why we're so low on patience, why we're so grumpy. We don't want to leave the house. We look in the mirror and we're just so unhappy with everything. And if we only took the time to just care for ourselves a little bit, I think we'd be better moms, better at our jobs, just in general. It
Yeah,
really does affect
absolutely.
your self-esteem and your mindset.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Terry, for coming and just, letting women know that this is accessible. I think that's like the key word. Because for me, it's like, do I want to take as good as it sounds, 3-hour facial or, I don't have that. You got to pick up the kids at
Yeah.
school, or you've got deadlines and emails. And before you know it, you haven't answered any of your text messages. And are you mad at me? Like, no, I literally have not looked at my phone. So, or
We're
if I
busy.
looked, I was too busy to really indulge or really take in account what was written, So it's, we need places like Face Foundry. So thank you so much for being in our community. And we're just so excited to
Yes.
see your growth and
Thank you for your
continuous
support.
growth.
Thank you
Absolutely,
for
Terry.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Likewise.